Good afternoon. We are about to start here in just a minute with Andrew's paranormal experience. He is another investigator here on YouTube, and we'll be with you shortly. He's coming. He's just got to get it ready. He's trying to figure it out. There you are.
Yeah, I got Autumn in the back.
Hello.
Um, and then obviously I got Chucky and them with the REM pod going.
Is it on?
Yeah, the REM pod's on, the
Oh,
cat balls are working, and the EMF's going.
I got mine on. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Nope, but I see
Okay.
it.
I do have the cancel background noise because I have a fish tank like right here. I gave them my desk, so it's like my podcast thing is like so messed up right now.
Is there a way I can turn this or no? Yes.
There we
Cool.
go.
I was like, I don't know if I can turn this or not, but I was trying to get like all of that in the frame.
There we go.
'Cause these things are haunted.
They are.
And you can see they all work. I don't know.
Mine, one of my dolls, Charlie here, he has a cat ball, but he likes to kill them all within a week. So I have 8 haunted dolls altogether.
Nice. Okay, let me see if I can. There we go. Everything's in frame now.
So starting off, can we do a little introduction and just tell us about you and your team and everything?
Well, you're looking at the team. Oh, look, the cat ball's going off. Oh, it was. Um, while you're looking at the team, it's just a couples team. Um, I don't know. I've been basically ghost hunting since I was a kid. Oh, it's going off again.
And can you
Uh,
tell us your names?
well, my name is Andrew. This is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn Vale.
I'm just watching this cat ball go off.
And can you tell us what's the name of the spirits?
Uh, well, I know the homeowner still haunts the house, the old one that passed away. I don't know his name.
Greg.
Greg? Well, okay, so we have Greg, and then we have a little boy and a little girl spirit. I believe the little girl's name is possibly Rosie or Victoria. Now, the boy's name is either Thomas or Robert.
It's the fact that it's the Chucky set doll that's it just makes it even more interesting.
Yeah,
Considering the fact that they think so too. um the REM pod's going off. But when I was younger, I was in like second grade, I think it was, and it was actually the first paranormal experience I ever had and that I can remember. And it was of this little boy, and he used to run around in my room, but I was terrified of him at the time because I used to watch Chucky a lot. And of course, when you're that little, you think of, it
yeah.
just terrifies you. And just seeing that just reminded me of my first experience.
Oh, that's funny. Mine was more like a Asian horror film. I can't remember the name of it, but it gave me nightmares for like weeks. And then like out of nowhere, weird things started happening, and then everything stopped, and then it came back, and I'm like, all right, who's messing with me? I'm thinking, what? It was one of my siblings playing a prank, No.
And what about Autumn? What was your first paranormal experience?
It would have to be with my uncle. He passed away when I was young. And we didn't really know him that much. We got to meet him on holidays, that's about it. But he died. And he actually came to my house where we were at, and I was coming up the stairs, and he was following behind me.
That's creepy.
How did you
Oh,
feel in that moment?
It was like I was at peace. I was calm, but I was scared because I was like, what is this thing coming at me?
like, who are you?
Because I was only like 10 or 12 years old. I was really young.
And did you ever meet him before, or was that your first time seeing him?
I met him before when I was younger. We didn't really have like, we only visited on holidays and major get-togethers, like somebody died. We'd meet, and so we weren't really like close. But he came, he followed me up the stairs. He goes, your mom needs you. I ran to my mom, and my mom's like, I didn't. She goes, that wasn't anybody here on. And then she explained to me that like a couple of days before this happened, my uncle did pass away. I'm like, oh.
And
I had to reset that, sorry.
oh, you're completely fine.
I knocked it.
How did the that experience with both of y'all affect your beliefs about the paranormal?
Honestly, I've never been afraid. My grandmother taught me at a young age to just accept it.
So does your grandmother have gifts and stuff?
Yep. I think both of my grandmothers did. Because right after they both died, they obviously hung around with me for a while and then kind of just like vanished over
And
time.
and so you're able to see and hear spirits as well.
Yeah. I freak a lot of people out with that too because they're like, how? Because I was doing an investigation at Fairfield County Infirmary in Ohio, and I was with Beyond the Shadows group, and we were standing in the little hallway there, and we're talking, and I said, hey, there's a little girl standing next to you, and she gave me her name and what she was wearing, like a white dress. And then she started booking it down the hallway. And as one of the investigators were coming up the hallway, they felt a huge gust of wind go right past them. And I said, oh, that's just the little girl that ran past you. And they were like, what? Everybody just sat there and just started freaking out like, what? And then they went into the records. They found out it was one of the little girls that died inside the facility at the time.
And so during the times when you were first coming to the conclusion that what you're seeing is not people who are alive, but of the dead, how did you realize that?
I was very young when I started experiencing that. I was probably about 3 or 4, when I started realizing that I had those kind of gifts. I had an imaginary friend like most. He just wasn't so imaginary.
Yeah.
He would mess with my mom and move things on her, and she'd get upset because she was like, why do you keep moving all my stuff? And I'm like, it's not me. And no one understood that. And yeah, to this day, he still follows me.
How do you distinguish between genuine phenomenons and the paranormal?
What do you think? Honestly, I don't know, because I debunk a lot of my work, because I know if it's something I know that it wasn't supernatural or paranormal, I'll immediately say, hey, it was probably me or it was this,
Mhm. So
you know.
so if there's a creaking sound, you're the type to go, okay, let's check it out and see if maybe there's a loose, the
Yeah,
house just creaking, or is it just something else?
yeah, pretty much. I would spend like at least 30 to 45 minutes in the spot just to verify whether it was a mouse or a bat or a bird or a moth, or if I go back and review my videos, I'm like, okay, maybe that was maybe a mosquito, or that was this, or it's not, oh my God, I got, holy crap. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like to hype it up, but at the same time, I do get freaked out, even though I go into dark places.
And do you think that the perception of the paranormal has changed over time?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people use it to take advantage of other people and um, kind of just like price gouge people.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous with the
Is
amount of prices these places are. And then
mhm.
just for somebody like me to go in and investigate, I have to pay the exact same price as like a group of 12.
Yeah, and then you feel obligated to fill that. Uh,
And I feel like, if you protest, maybe I get like the money may possibly go towards the building and repairs and things like that. But don't price gouge something so historical that ordinary people can't go and explore themselves because you guys want to upcharge it all.
yeah, I feel like that if you're going to
Like, I don't know
charge
if you heard what happened to uh what is it? The one with Annabelle.
the Conjuring
You know what
House,
happened? Huh?
the Conjuring House,
Yeah, did you hear about what happened?
I know that the owner is going off her ass right now.
She basically she's being sued. They closed down the entire building. Everyone was fired. Like, she ruined that place. She gave everyone and everything a bad name to that place.
Right.
Like, that's the thing I'm talking about, is these big corporations want to come in and then demand you to pay all this money. Like, no.
I know I didn't like her right away as soon as I heard that she was taking the original table out and putting it in Virginia.
Right. Like, why are you touching things and making changes that aren't meant to be there?
Yeah. It's like you're
And
all you are is just going to make the spirits more mad and they're going to target you at the end of the day.
exactly. And Ed and Lorraine would be so upset today if they were to find out what was going on to these historic places that they originally went to and had the story told. If it weren't for those two, we would have never known any of these stories.
I would love to hear what they think about it right now.
Oh man, they'd be so upset that they're probably rolling in their graves.
REM pod.
There you go. Yeah, the cat ball hasn't gone off in a minute, so maybe they
Yeah,
just kind of took off.
they're just taking their time.
They're
Uh,
very shy.
are there?
Yeah, they don't like to talk to me sometimes.
Oh, well, I have some that are shy. I do have three new dolls, and two of them are very shy. One is very open. She's very opening up right away. She has a mental disorder.
Oh
Uh,
goodness.
and she died by, I haven't shared this on YouTube yet, but she died by I believe it was her father who had choked her to death, possibly in a bathroom.
So basically drowned in a tub.
Yeah, something like that. But I'm feeling more like strangled. It could be in a tub, but I know for sure she was strangled. Um, but I think it was due to her mental disabilities.
That could be.
And I got This one right here, which I'm sure you've seen him before. And he loves to be out there. So he's
Yeah,
definitely the talker.
I don't have any creepy haunted dolls. I just have these guys behind me, and I don't even think they're haunted. I just think the kids like to play with them.
You think that it's more of like not an attachment, but
More of
a toy sort of.
like an yeah, more like an item that they connect with, I guess you would say, because maybe they had something similar, but not like exactly the same, but you know, and they draw an attachment to it, you know. So,
So what made you want to start your YouTube channel?
honestly, I just wanted to try to share my experience with the world. Um, Basically show the other side of what we do, other than just these clout chasers who like to get scared and run away. Um, I'm more of like, oh, I heard that noise. Let's go towards it. Um, like skinwalkers, you know, or Bigfoot or aliens. I'm more like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go find it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna hire a bunch of my friends to go out in the woods and start screaming and hollering and pretending that, oh, you're a scary man or a monster.
Well,
You know,
where I live, we do, and it has been confirmed on EVPs and on Spirit Box that there is a skinwalker out here. So if you're ever around and would like to test it out yourself, feel free to come to my backyard.
was that North Carolina?
Yes, and it's very interesting because a body was actually just found there the other day.
Goodness. Well, there you go.
So this weekend I'm going out to investigate.
Yeah, I'm trying to. We're waiting on our car so I can actually start going out and investigating. I can't go too far with it. So
I
it's
mean,
like where I'm located, everything's far.
I definitely feel you because it's the same with me. Like I'm doing a collaboration with Waverly soon, and that's an 8 hour drive,
Yeah,
8 to 9. Then you got to get the hotel. So it's like again back to what you were saying. It's like the places that are charging $1,000 to go and investigate. If you're having a crew of 1 to even 4 or 5 people, you shouldn't have to be paying $5,000 if it's just y'all.
yeah, because you got to realize you got travel expense, food, gas, yada yada. You know, who comes up with $1,000 in their back pocket?
And if you think about it, if they lower the prices, they'll get more customers, which means that they'll double
Exactly.
the
They'll probably
price.
get more traffic coming through if they lower the prices.
Hmm. Which just
Stop
means
price
more
down
money.
behind.
So
I don't.
going to
Yeah.
y'all, how did y'all meet, if it's not too much information, and what got y'all wanting to go and explore together?
Do tell.
I hired him off Facebook.
You hired him?
Yes. I put an ad out asking if anybody wanted to come over and take care of my yard. He said he'll do it. He came over, we started talking, and he never left.
Oh, that's so sweet though. That's like mine. So the way my husband met me was it was one of New Year's, so people were drinking. And I used to stay with a friend of mine, and but I was out that night and I came back for New Year's and I saw him standing in my kitchen. And I was just like, "Who are you?" And like 3 days later, he invited me over to his house, and I went over there and I never left. And then we ended up getting our own house and starting a little family and then this channel together.
Well, there you go. Pretty much the same thing here. Just ran into each other. Hey.
I mean, hey, it turns always into love at first sight. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave up hanging out with a homeboy of mine before he went to prison.
Look, that right
I
there,
was like,
that's
I ain't about
just
that life no more. Bye.
hmm
I
So
left all of that life behind.
that's right. Can you share your most memorable experience you have had so far?
I had many. I mean, they go back as far as a child. Like I would have nightmares, and I'd wake up, and my whole dream and nightmare would still be like right above my head, like I was still actively inside of that dream. I feel like I was astral projecting.
Hmm.
That's how I kind of learned that I could do that. Um, Not many people can, and if you have the chance to do it, I suggest you do it because it's worth it.
And uh I know I completely interrupted, but what got y'all into wanting to investigate together?
Travel, exploration, you
And
know,
and
trying to get out there and explore the world.
when did y'all start talking about your experience? I mean, I know people don't just go up one day the first time you meet and be like, "Hey, I talked to the dead," you know. So when did that conversation come about and the interest happen?
I think when he met the old man, because the old man will come in and you won't know he's here up until the time you walk in and you smell cigar smoke.
Mhm.
And none of us smoke cigars. And it's a really thick smell. And he's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's the old man."
Yeah, I found out she had a ton of ghosts up in this house.
I was about to say I keep seeing some flickering. It looks like spirits driving by, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's completely lit in the room. I mean, no lights are on other than the outside light, but hey, you know. So basically, we just have everything right here in front of us. That way, if anything goes off, hey, it goes off.
What?
I'm hoping they come up to play.
Oh, they might. You touch the REM pod.
I've asked them. I was like, if you guys want, you guys can come up here and play with this stuff anytime you want.
Yeah, don't be shy. We're all open. I have other dolls.
Yeah,
Um,
just don't invite them over here because I don't know what would happen.
well, they're all good except for one. So, but she is attached to that doll. So that's not something you had to worry about. I believe she was used in a ritual. There are items inside of her.
Oh,
Um,
good enough.
and I have been debating if I want to open her or not. She says I can, but I'm not sure if I
That could be
should.
a trickster. It could be
Yeah,
a trickster. I wouldn't trust it.
I know, and that's like, ooh,
It could be a hex bag and you don't even know it.
I know. Like when I feel it, I'll bring her down so you can see. So this is her, a one of a kind. And
Oh, it's looking all raggy.
if you look back here, this stitching, well, you can't really see it because of the camera, but there's stitching right here that's not like made from the fabric. It was like put on afterwards. So it was like cut and then
Yeah,
put on. Here
right.
in the leg, it's so weird when I touch it, but here in the leg, there's definitely at least 2 or 3 items inside of her. And I can grab it. One of them feels like a coin. And then there's like there's just there's just so many things. There's at least 3 or 4 things. And it's got me so
I'm thinking
curious
maybe
though.
I'm thinking maybe there's like 5 or 6 items in there.
Well, I'm really
But
thinking
look at the
about
size of look at the size of those legs. You can fit
right.
a lot in there.
I'm really thinking about taking her into the woods and opening her because I don't want to do it exactly in the house, but then at the same time, it's like I know I'm going to bring her back in the house. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm still debating. 9 out of 10, though, I'm probably going to end up doing it just because my curiousness is just going to get to me, E- even though I know I probably shouldn't. Especially because she already doesn't like men, so when my husband's here on the weekends, it's very effective. So I couldn't imagine
Yeah,
how it's going to
I
be like
plan
if
on.
I opened her.
I'm trying to plan a visit to go see Robert the doll.
What do you believe about Robert the doll?
Oh, I know all too well about the curse of him, and I know all the bad things that had happened to him. So I would
He's
really like to get the chance to just sit in front of him and talk.
I That's one of the places I want to go to so bad, and I feel like I'll eventually get there.
Yeah, I have a couple bucket lists, but they no longer claim to be open anymore.
I know I wanted to go to Bobby Mackey's, but they closed that down, didn't they?
Yeah, they demolished it. They're doing a rebuild because the entire building was just unsafe.
Was it?
Oh, it was very unsafe. Nobody could go into Carl's apartment at all. It was completely condemned.
Was it like rotting?
Yeah, it was falling from the roof down. Like if you actually watch the demolition videos, and pay attention very closely towards where the door goes towards the basement, as they're tearing it down, you can see the spirits peeking their head out and watching them.
Oh, I'll have to watch it because I haven't seen it. I heard about it and I've just been so sad because I try not to watch videos of places that I know I'm going to go to. Um, so it hasn't even hit my algorithm.
Yeah, I did my first investigation at Bobby's by myself, and then the second time I had her with me, and I posted a video on my YouTube channel of doing the Estes method at Bobby Mackey's, right where Carl had the exorcist or the exorcism performed. And as I was doing the Estes method, I felt burning down my back. Well, come to find out, there were 3 claw marks going straight down my neck. And it was all caught on camera, and she wasn't even anywhere near me while I was blindfolded.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, I will have Andrew's page linked below for y'all to click that and watch that. Uh, what equipment do you find the most useful in investigations?
The most useful tool would be either the REM pod or I want to say, because it really depends on the location. I've had a lot of luck with cat balls, and then some locations I've had no luck at all. Um, so I'd probably say the REM pod would be the most effective piece of equipment. Also, that was me. The EMF reader is also a very useful tool as well. Um, Especially if you're going into like an abandoned building and it has absolutely no power to that place. How do you explain the electromagnetics making this go off?
Mhm.
You know, that it's like it really plays with your mind, but I know it's science. A lot of it has to do with science, and I feel like going back to like the debunking part, it's like you can explain it by using science. Like it could be like a ground, you're like on a ground and your body's projecting that energy, making it go off.
Mhm.
So it really honestly depends. The Ouija board's effective, but I don't recommend it for everyone. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a message board here. This is the pendulum for it.
Okay.
I have the Ouija board up here. I have two decks of tarot cards right here. I have the Black Toad book. And that door slammed again. Creepy. And then for all you crazy YouTube guys out there that like to play with dangerous spirits, I highly recommend to check this book out. It's called Dangerous Games to Play in the Dark. There's as many as Bloody Mary, all the old games that we used to play as kids. But it goes much further in other details too. How to actually conjure spirits, either good nor bad. I think you can find it at Barnes and Noble.
Now, when you were younger, did you ever play with the spirits or try to do the dark spirit stuff? Like, I know back when I was younger, we definitely did the Bloody Mary, we did the Charlie Charlie, and we did the hide and seek salt circle, which I feel like was the most dangerous one.
Yeah. So I played all the original spooky games back then, and
There we
there's a cat
go.
ball going off.
Hi. Are you coming out to talk now?
If you can, please hit the REM pod for me. That'd be great.
Just make all the balls light up one by one.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Right.
I haven't had that happen yet, but yeah, that would be cool. Yes. So, as I got a little older, I kind of explored a little bit, and I did go into like darker cults, as most people would call them, I guess. But I was a member of the Satanic Church. I still have my original Satan Bible. Let me tell you, those guys are not what everyone claims them to be.
Mhm.
We're actually, honestly, a lot of decent human beings that would give you our coat off our backs.
I definitely understand that because there was a time when I was younger where I had lost faith, and I was just like, if God exists, why would he let this happen?
Right, right.
And so then I started looking into other religions, and I did go into the satanic side at one point. And just I didn't actually go to church because there's not one around here like that. And
You're in
my
North Carolina. Don't tell me there ain't no Baptist church down there.
oh, there's a Baptist church, but there ain't no satanic one. But
There's actually a crazy story here in Michigan that involves a satanic cult. That it was in Jackson, Michigan. There's a house that no longer stands there, but the property alone gives anyone and everyone the absolute creeps.
really?
Oh, absolutely. So I actually know three of the members of this old satanic group. Two of them now are locked in prison for the rest of their lives for the horrible things they have done. One of them, he was pew-pewed and basically passed away for the crimes he did. And on the land alone, you feel nothing but heavy, dark, evil energy. But the house, I guess the locals there burned it down to get rid of it, so that way they'd stop coming back. So I plan on going to Jackson because I know the old prison there still hosts a couple, events, and then whatever. I would love to go investigate that prison. It's a castle.
So, do you
But
think that the energy there is more from like the demonic side, or do you think it's like a mixture of demonic and like just bad human, not human anymore, but
I feel like
spirits?
I feel like it's a mixture of both, considering that the area alone was known for massacres. That the colonists would wipe out the Indians and basically laid down on a whole gravesite. Um, so I feel like the land itself is cursed. Um, so with them opening up other portals and things like that, and doing sacrifices, and there have been records of human sacrifices on this property. So like I plan on a whole series for this. Actually, I'm going to go into depths with it. I'm going to talk to local people who were there at the time when all of this was going down. It was a huge story back in the 60s and 70s. And then recently in like the early 2000s, when there was more activity on the land, then they finally said, screw it, we're tearing the house down. But it doesn't exit out what still remains on that land.
Right.
I think it's forbidden land.
From like
I feel like if you go, you better know what you're getting yourself into.
okay. What has been the most challenging aspect of doing paranormal investigations so far?
Getting to my locations.
Yeah.
Basically just trying to get to my locations, the timing of, filming and editing, and it's like, a lot of it's challenging, especially when you do it on your own.
Do you feel like you want to grow your team?
No, honestly, no. The less people I have, the more chances I have of actually catching real evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there'd be a less likely chance that, oh, maybe, so and so was standing there and they captured the shadow. And see, I don't want that. I want to be able to investigate a location, get the proof that everyone is looking for without having interruptions.
You want as much physical proof as possible.
Correct. Basically, it's like a therapy session. I want to have a one-on-one with me and the spirits, and
Have you,
obviously the cameras.
yeah. Have you ever debunked a paranormal event somewhere?
I have several times actually. One of them happened to be at Bobby Mackey's. This is how I was able to debunk basically ghost adventures. Because I was, how many people do you know would go down in Bobby Mackey's basement all by themselves with no one in the building?
Nobody.
Yeah. And let me tell you guys, I am terrified of basements. I hate them with a passion. I would never lie to you guys. I hate them. Anyone in my family will tell you, yeah, no, Andrew, in a basement? Ha ha ha. I feel like something possessed me to go in that basement, sit next to the pit, and try to contact Carl. And I feel like I contacted Carl while I was down there, because okay, so I have it, I believe, on YouTube. I'm not sure. I know I have some shorts posted on TikTok. But I'm sitting in the basement and I'm talking. All of a sudden, the REM pod's going off, the cat balls are going off, and then you hear like drumsticks tapping on like the pipe. Mind you, there's nothing on in this building. The whole building was condemned at this point. And you hear tapping. And I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, that's no animal down here. And then I go upstairs And as I'm walking down the hallway, as you come through the front of the building, you're going down the hallway just before it opens up into the bar. There's a pair of drumsticks laying flat on the ground that were not there before.
Oh, that's amazing.
And if you guys want, you guys can check those drumsticks out at the Michigan Museum of Horror located in Monroe, Michigan. I do have them there on display.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me tell I'm already getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's insane because, like, if it's original, it's real when your body's like, okay,
Yeah. So,
and I hate these fakers. I'm just
ha-
gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it until people get the hint.
I mean,
Stop it.
yeah.
Stop trying to get famous off of faking your videos. It's not gonna work, guys.
And I also like when you're faking videos, it's like the people who fake their videos get the most views.
Yeah, they give us actual paranormal investigators bad names, and I don't like that.
Mm.
Because, like, I get told all the time, oh, why don't you go play with your Ouija board there, freak? Okay, well, I mean, I'm helping people. If that counts for anything, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I've seen those YouTube videos. You guys fake everything. See, I don't want that in our community.
Yeah.
You know,
Because when I went to the
you're-
Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, I was in Emily's room and I caught her frog falling down. I was asking her to play with the toys and stuff. And I had people telling me that there was a string attached to the frog. And I'm like, are y'all serious right now that y'all think that I will go out of my way while I'm talking and playing with a little tea set to attach a string to a frog? Right. So while we're waiting for Andrew to get back, he did have to run and take his lovely wife to work real quick. We are just going to play around a little bit in the meantime. I got some dazzle friends here. Just ask a few questions to the spirits. Would you like to speak? Yes. Okay. And again, this hand is broke, so if it looks funny in the camera, that is why I just can't hold my hand completely normal like I can on this one. It is healed, but it's still broken, and it's healed broken. So what do you guys think so far about Andrew? Yes. Okay, so you like him? Yeah, awesome. What do you think about his dolls that he says having an attachment? Genshin, you like him. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yes. So Kenshin is behind me, and that's what they were trying to point to. You were lighting up the REM pod earlier. Were you trying to play with the spirit that was there with them? Yeah. Were you trying to show them that it's okay to feel comfortable? Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy continuing to talk on this podcast with us. And I thank you, Charlie, Kenshin, and all the rest of the spirits here. Thank you.
Aloha.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, I'm in the dark now.
I see a change of scenery.
Yeah, just leave all the lights off, and I got a couple bright lights on, but
So, guys, just to give a little clearance on why there's a change of scenery and why does it seem a little awkward all of a
Why
sudden.
did it go from light to dark so quick?
Right. So he did have some things that he had to settle. He did have to take his wife to work. But we are back here now. And it shouldn't take long. I got about like 8 more questions. Um, oh, sorry. And this here was the doll that I was speaking about earlier with the mental disabilities.
Okay.
So I was just hanging out with her for a minute. um, but I did do a little session with the spirits, and Kenshin did say that he liked the dolls that you had.
Hmm.
He liked them.
Nice.
So we're just kind of gonna jump right back into it, if that's good with you.
Yeah, I thought I just heard something behind me.
Did you?
I thought I did. I could be imagining things, but
So how do you handle the skeptics?
uh, well, I tell them to put their money where their mouth is and come spend the night with me. If you're brave enough.
Uh, can you tell us about another investigation that you have been to and the things that you have caught?
Well, I've caught hellhounds on camera. Um, let's see. I want to say it was a Union soldier that had probably been stationed at Detroit Fort Wayne. But the image that I showed you, like I said, I had a glare protector on my camera, and it wasn't even that bright out that day. And we were just kind of messing around, taking photos, and we noticed in maybe like the 5th or 6th photo there was like this blue figure, and I had a feeling like there was someone watching us because we were basically the only ones there on that fort. There goes your REM pod.
And I was just
Yeah,
gonna say, I definitely feel like there's somebody. I don't know if that's a doorway where the dark shadow is, but there's definitely
over
somebody
here.
standing over there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the door right there, and then the dark hallway all the way through.
Yeah, maybe it's the hallway, but there's somebody like there was just standing right there in the middle looking at you.
Probably, I believe it's probably. I think it's the old man.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, "What are you doing up here?"
Did you feel his energy?
A little bit. I try to because it gets annoying for me. Um, they bombard me, so I kind of try to just block out as much as I can and just pretend like they're not there
Mhm.
because it gets annoying. Because then they call for my attention, like, "Oh, hey, 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 hey."
It's
I'm
like
like
a
that.
constant repeat.
Yeah, like give me a break. Give me a break. Give me 5 minutes.
I mean,
Like,
honestly, when you can see and you can hear the spirits, and then you have a house full of spirits, it's like you have a house full of people.
yeah, and I feel like I brought a couple of them back with me throughout my investigations.
It's definitely possible. Spirits will travel anywhere they want to go, even when you tell them not to.
Uh-huh.
So, what is your approach to communicating with spirits or entities?
I kind of my approach is more of like positive vibes. Um, Now I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you're not supposed to provoke them." Well, guess what? I'm the one who likes to. If they are willing to come out and show themselves, more power to them. I just feel like if you antagonize and provoke, you get more of a response back.
Yeah, because you're kind of making them angry.
Right. But at the same time, you're not though, because think about it. You want they want the attention. Some of them do. They want that attention to be heard and seen. Like, hey, I'm here. Hello. Is anyone listening? So I kind of provoke just to see what would happen because honestly, I don't fear them.
Yeah. I mean, really, there's nothing to fear unless you do encounter something that actually is very, very dark. And you'll know when you do.
I know this is weird, but I don't even run from that.
You
It,
don't.
I don't see the sense in running. All you're doing is feeding it more energy to come after you and attach itself.
Yeah.
Because now, once you've shown the fear in front of a demon, now they have something of yours. And now they can use that against you in any day activity or, whatever. Like you could be a happy-go-lucky person one day, tomorrow you'd be a miserable, sad individual, and you don't even know what happened.
Mhm. And a lot of times, people who do have dark attachments, they'll think it's away for a while and then it's right back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's never left.
Nope. I've honestly been working on trying to capture demons with my own eyes.
Hmm.
Um, I've only ever seen the entity that's been following me around since I was a child. That's the only demon I've ever been able to see. Other than that, I haven't been able to see any other evil entity other than maybe like the Grim Reaper or the Hat Man.
So you've encountered the Hat Man as well.
Yeah, I've encountered them at the Michigan Museum of Horror. It was my first investigation at the location. We were downstairs and we heard some noises upstairs. And as I'm panning around the corner, you can see the shadow on the wall, like a perfect top, like a cowboy hat.
Mm.
And we're going up the stairs, and I'm sitting here trying to debunk it. Like maybe it's one of the statues, or maybe it's this or that, or maybe it's something, and we could not explain. And as we were turning around, it felt like something pushed me halfway down the stairs, like they were trying to get rid of me. Now, I know there's stories about someone being hung in there back during the bootleg era. A little girl was murdered next door. The building was before it was a museum and all that, it was the Greyhound station. So a lot of dark history there, a lot of,
Yeah.
a lot of crazy stuff. I apologize. Hang on one second. I'm like losing my mind over here.
You're good.
I found a carpenter ant.
Oh, man.
Oh man, they're huge. I know North Carolina, they got fire ants.
Oh, yeah, those things hurt.
Yep, I remember living in Florida and I fell into a whole pile of them
Ugh.
right down the butt crack.
We got those, oh man, every time when it's summertime and it starts to get hot and I go out to record in the woods, oh man, we got those flying baby wasps that come out and attack you. Those are so painful. I've
Oh,
never,
the ground jackets?
I have no idea what they are, but they're tiny and they fly and they bite and they sting and it hurts so bad. I just remember like being fully covered in them one time. I had to stop the video.
Well, at least you don't live in Colorado or anywhere by there because they got cow killers.
What is that? Because I want to move to Colorado.
Don't.
Don't?
You don't.
Why?
I'm gonna save you time, energy, money, and everything.
I know
Don't.
it's expensive.
I lived there for a year and a half and I went broke.
Really?
Yeah, really. I had to move back here. Really.
Oh man. I know they had this school for sale, um, and I wanted to buy it and turn it into a house because it was like so cheap. It was like $60,000. But it's just like I just like the cold and I like the small towns, just being able to walk around town.
Well, if you want to live in a real haunted state, that would be my state. We have black-eyed children. We have the dog man, wolf man. We have skinwalkers. We have Bigfoot sightings. I don't know how many Bigfoot groups live in this state alone.
I
There's just,
I recently did a podcast with uh Michael Lorenzen, and he is a researcher slash scientist slash librarian, and he studies on Bigfoot.
okay.
And just hearing his stories, and I would like your opinion on this while we're speaking on it, is do you believe in Bigfoot might possibly be a fairy's motive?
Well, I may have possibly had an encounter with one. And you guys can check that video out on my YouTube channel. Me and my buddy Cole went out to a set of woods, kind of like a couple hours from where I live. And we're literally in the middle of nowhere. We're filming. Now, mind you, we did capture a red fox on camera. So I thought that was pretty neat. Um, but I set my camera down and we still had our mics on and everything, and I had to use the restroom. So I ran over towards the river and I was using the restroom, not thinking that my mic was still on. And you can hear grunting, and then all of a sudden, like, it sounded like somebody or something took like a giant whip and just slapped the side of a tree, and we were out of there. Yeah, it freaked me and my buddy out. We were gone. I ain't never been scared my entire life. That was close too. It was like, I want to say it was less than 25 feet, maybe less than that.
And that was going to be one of my next questions, is if you could describe a time when you felt genuinely scared during an investigation.
I would say right then and there at that moment when I had to cut the camera and go, because we got back to the car and there were handprints running down the back of my car.
Wow.
But they weren't normal human hand size prints.
And where was this located at, if you don't mind?
I want to say it's probably a half hour from Jonesville.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know the actual name of this place. I know it's like near Saline. That's all I know. It was just like one of those whimsical things, like, hey, let's go out to the middle of these woods where no one ever goes.
Right. Okay. So, what type of a location or haunting would you most like to investigate?
I would honestly like to go and do the Indiana State Sanatorium,
Okay.
um, or the famous hotel in Colorado where The Shining was filmed.
I've never heard of it.
Really? Have you ever seen the movie The Shining?
I think I have, like,
It's
probably years
written
ago.
by Stephen King. Um, it's basically like this family move into this hotel and they're like caretakers of the place, and the dad immediately becomes possessive, like very evil, and the son starts seeing like twin ghosts, and it's a very messed up movie because obviously it's a Stephen King movie. Um, but the actual hotel itself is very haunted. I've heard so many stories, and I'm just like, I really want to go. I really want to go. I really want to go. And then I
Is
want to do the Winchester.
Is that the place that Johnny Depp had went to? And he like left that night because he saw a woman standing at the end of his bed.
I don't know.
I know he went to some big hotel that was in a movie before that was haunted. And he ended up leaving that night because he was like, there's a woman in my room standing over my
There's
bed.
there's a ton of those hotels though in this country because I don't know if you've ever heard of the famous Clown Hotel in Nevada.
Yes, I want to go.
Well, that was in the Three from Hell movie and a couple other movies. Um,
Really?
oh yeah, oh
See,
yeah.
I really don't know stuff like this because I love scary movies, but the only ones that I've really seen and like actually paid attention to was like, of course, The Conjuring. Everybody knows Conjuring. Um, but I've always had like an interest in movies that look uh, sort of like real, like you're actually like actual footage. You know what I mean? So I've
Yeah.
always liked the stupid paranormal activity movies and stuff like that.
Fun fact,
Mhm.
the guy who played Jason Voorhees, him and all the other main serial killer guys actually run their own paranormal channel in California. It's called Hollywood Paranormal.
Mhm.
Um, I've actually got to meet a couple of those guys. The guy who played Leatherface. I've met Michael Berryman, who was in Hills Have Eyes and all the other great movies.
I
Uh,
was this close from being able to, I don't know if you saw before, but I was in a competition and I was this close to being able,
are you talking about Face of Horror?
yes, with one of the guys who played Jason.
Yeah, it's the guy I've actually got to meet and hang out with.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was so excited for that. I thought I was gonna win, but people were,
Yeah, he came here to Michigan for a convention that I happened to have a booth at, and my sister was there, and she goes, "I lost my debit card. I can't pay for my photo and autograph." I said, "Well, here's $20." Come to find out, all the vendors were able to get free photographs and signatures.
oh, wow. That's
So
real good.
I've actually got to just sit down and talk to these horror legends, like personally on a personal level, like, hey, what did it take to become Jason? And it was an incredible story.
I definitely would have loved if I would have been able to win that and just being able to sit down and talk to him and be able to, I was going to be able to investigate with him, and that was going to be like my most favorite part, but I couldn't.
Well, he did send me an email and he did invite me to California to come and investigate with him and all the other guys. So
Oh, that's
stay tuned with
awesome.
that. I'm hoping to hear back. So
Oh, that would be awesome, dude.
it would. And then I also, surprisingly, Big Sean. I don't know if you're familiar with his music,
Yeah.
but Big Sean is a fan of paranormal. And Autumn, she happened to run into him at the airport. And she gave him one of my business cards and said, my guy does paranormal, yada yada. And she ended up getting an autograph for me signed by him. And she got a photo with him. But right now he's currently in England on tour. So he said when he got back that he would hit me up on Instagram and let me know if he would want to go out on an investigation too.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Isn't it? Like, dude,
Yeah.
like I got goosebumps when Big Sean was like, "Oh, I'd go on an investigation with you. Where are we going?"
Dude, if you got Big Sean to go on an investigation with you, that would be goals right there.
Oh man, because then
That
I'd be like, hit Snoop Dogg up. Let's go.
right, it'd be hilarious. And then I would say, hit me up so I could smoke with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, I've smoked with them.
Have you?
Well, yeah. So we have an event here in Michigan called Hash Bash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's basically where the very first person ever got arrested in Michigan, in the state of Michigan, for the possession of marijuana. So now every year there's a big festival, and this year I ran into Chong. Yeah, he was here for Astronomicon with Twisted. So he ended up stopping by Hash Bash, and I ran into him for like the third time. I'm like, Chong, when are you gonna bring Cheech along with you?
Okay.
But right now, I guess Cheech is in the middle of filming. And that's why we haven't been able to see him lately. Because I guess they're working on a film.
So, how do you prepare mentally and emotionally for an investigation?
I kind of go off on my own and I listen to music basically to like zone myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they have cigarettes and all this cancerous crap.
It's fine.
One day I will quit. One day.
I say the same thing.
I tried the vaping thing. All that does is hurt my lungs.
It does
I'm
me
like,
too.
nope. I'll have a real cigarette.
I know, and then I'm like for days.
Inhalers, they come in handy.
Right. I have asthma as well.
So it's like, man, I lose for winning this one. But yeah, no, basically, I clear my mind. I set myself into a positive mood. I kind of get myself into the zone. I think about what I'm going to ask and what it's not what I expect to happen or what I hope to happen. It's more of what I'm, what's the word? What I'm anticipating to actually witness. It's more of an anticipation feeling for me. It's like, are you guys gonna be able to prove yourself here, or are you gonna just play around and not come out?
I always, when I'm getting into an investigation, I like to, first off, I love, like, I guess you could say, like, the emo rock or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll put on that music and I'll just zone out and sing to the top of my lungs and just get into this really, really good energy because I know once I get to this location, the spirits are going to drain me and I'm going to start feeling how they felt when they passed. And
See, I listen to Suicide Boys and Omen.
do you? I like to listen to Suicide Silence. I'm not sure if you're aware of them.
Rhythm with Sirens,
hmm
Chelsea Grin,
Yep.
like all the old heavy metal.
Yep, that's what I like. And so I'll listen to that. And then once I get there, sometimes I immediately connect with the spirit. And I go into these places blind, so I don't know anything about the locations that I've been to, unless I'm accidentally told something or I accidentally see something while I'm booking,
I like to try to get some information on the place because then it helps me build a story for my channel. Like if I'm going into a place, a lot of my viewers like to know the history and the backstory of, what happened on the property, or, why did it happen, or what's the energy, why does the energy feel as negative as for you. Let's say like you go to a location and you have a good positive energy, and then I come in and all of a sudden I'm just a very negative Nancy person. Like it affects different people certain ways.
And some spirits will connect with certain spirits. I mean,
right.
Certain people. And
I mean, spirits do connect with other spirits.
yeah.
has been known. Um, so yeah, I guess it
But
all really depends on your aura.
and it also depends on the spirit itself, because if a spirit wants to show themselves to me but not show themselves to you, and same vice versa, I mean, that's going to happen. Spirits are just like humans. They'll like certain people and they won't like certain people.
Hmm. That is true.
So closing this out, can you share where people wanted to find you if they wanted to see more of you?
Okay. So you guys can find me over on Instagram. You guys can type in at Andrew's Paranormal 666 for Instagram. You guys can find me over on TikTok as well. That's Scarecrow 666993. I don't know, that's just what they allowed me to have. Um, and then obviously you guys can go find me over on my YouTube channel at Andrew M666 or Andrew's Paranormal Experience.
Mhm.
I do house calls as well. So if you guys have a haunted house or a spooky location that you guys want investigated, feel free to hit me up over on Instagram. Send me a message, let me know, send me the details. I'll come in, investigate, determine whether or not you have a spirit or possibly a rodent.
And me too, because I'm trying to do a house series where I go to my subscribers' homes who they think are haunted.
There you go.
There we go. And I will get everything linked in the description below. So if you would like to see more of Andrew and his videos and what he has caught and his experiences, click the link in the description below.
And I do have plenty more videos coming soon, so stay tuned, everyone.
And with that being said, I thank you, Andrew, for coming on to this podcast. It was great having you here, and the spirits here enjoyed you as well.
Oh yeah, I feel like they appreciated my presence by making that REM pod go off.
They did. They very much liked you, and I can't wait to get this podcast up. And I got a little spirit session that's going to be in between there on your little break as well, where you see what they said.
Well, there you go. Okay. All right.
You have a good day.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.